Morning show. I think we're already getting in trouble.
Yeah, I think so. But we will try to keep it to ourselves.
Right. Brian Joseph and Jerry Price are here this morning. And what was your first promise, Jerry?
I won't say any 4-letter words. I don't know how I'm going to keep that promise.
You know,
I think I'm good.
I'm kind of foggy on this, but I think on the video live stream, we don't have any such restriction.
Oh, well, in that case.
Wait. Good morning, gentlemen. It's very good to see both of you.
Same here. Thank you.
And we're going to be talking about Lake Breeze at sunset. And you just handed me the latest card. This is exciting. This is looking really good.
Very.
This is looking really good. Tell me, let's, for those who just have a moment or two to check in on what's happening here on the video live stream, give us an overview. Lake Breeze at sunset.
Lake Breeze at sunset is the premier concert in our community. Takes place Saturday, July 12th at the Shadowland Pavilion, Silver Beach, and it's just an evening of great music, friendship, fun, food, and sunsets. It doesn't get any better.
That's a perfect overview.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
Now we love stories. So any stories that you want to tell, you can tell them here, as long as they're tangentially related to the music stuff.
Sure.
I'm just shocked at the word tangentially. I'm like, you are impressing me this early in the morning.
I broke out 4 syllables this morning.
4 syllables.
Yes.
That's because I had an opportunity to play golf as part of work yesterday.
Oh, that's always fun.
Is that not fun?
Yeah, that's always
pretty cool.
Every time I was like, oh man, that was a bad shot. But you know what?
Yeah.
I could be working today.
True.
It wasn't too bad.
Cool.
How are you guys doing? Jerry, you have a new job, new role.
Yes.
So we'll talk about that if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, sure.
At some point.
It's all open. It's all free game here today.
Okay. Give a preview. What is it? What are you doing?
Well, I've taken on some additional part-time work with the Renaissance Athletic Club. So I am overseeing their business development strategy. So I'm the new director of business development.
Oh man, big things coming.
Oh, that's pretty exciting. It's a full circle moment. It's a full circle moment.
All right. Well, we're good. We're glad to have you more involved in the community. So we'll talk about that in a few moments. And I love your shirt today, Brian.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That it's crisp, it's ironed, and it's got the big old Pizza Hut logo on it.
There you go. Come correct or don't come at all.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Doing really well. Yeah. Excited about July 12th, and working with Jerry is always a pleasure, although he's not here, but he is in town more often now, which is good. And
we're excited about that.
Go to the Mason Jar and have a little breakfast and chit chat. So it's all good.
And construction on Niles Avenue, how's that going?
Well, the building is down, obviously.
Yep.
So we anticipate in the next 2 to 3 weeks, hopefully, we can get things going vertical.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we've seen it horizontal.
Good, right? Vertical is a good thing, right?
We've seen it horizontal. And I like how you put that. We're going to go vertical next.
Yeah.
So if you want, I can ask you a couple questions about that during the interview as well.
Sure.
Okay. So we'll talk about those things and more. We've got Brian Joseph and Jerry Price. They're here to talk about Lake Breeze at sunset. It's coming up Saturday, July 12th, this summer during Art on the Bluff.
Yes.
So the big old fair, and so you're going to have a ton of people there. So you're going to want to get your tickets sooner rather than later, so you don't get boxed out of that. But it's coming up July 12th, Saturday, Lake Breeze at sunset, and Tim Cunningham and Cindy Bradley will be performing. We'll talk more about that and other things that's coming up right here on the WSJM Morning Show. We've got local news to get to, sports as well, and weather. We'll be right back.
27cash.com.
With our bad credit,
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
7:05, it's the WSJM Morning Show. We're on the air now. Calm down over there. No, we're in the studio. Brian Joseph and Jerry Price. They're here to talk about Lake Breeze at sunset. Good morning, gentlemen. Before we get into the news and weather and stuff, how are you doing today?
Oh, good morning. Doing great.
All right.
Doing well.
Is this the kind of weather? Is today's the kind of weather that you have set up for July 12th when we have Lake Breeze at sunset?
Yeah, we want a nice breeze, not too hot, but just a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Right. So we're dialing this up again.
I'm telling you, July 12th, it's going to be at Shadowland Pavilion down at Silver Beach, Lake Breeze at sunset. Cindy Bradley, Tim Cunningham. We're going to be talking with Brian Joseph and Jerry Price here about that concert that's coming up. And just how many is this now?
This is the fourth year.
Fourth year
you guys been doing this.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And we're still vertical. We're still upright. So that says a lot right there.
We are measuring our progress horizontally and vertically today. So stay tuned because we're going to have that full interview here with Jerry and Brian in just a moment right here on the WSJM Morning Show. Let's talk about our weather forecast right now. We've got 67 degrees and mostly, some clouds out there. I think they'll burn off pretty quickly, but we're going to have a partly sunny day, only a 20% chance of showers. Going to be humid. High today inland around 86 degrees by the lakeshore, probably around 80. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight's forecast partly cloudy, a 40% chance of showers and storms. Nothing big like tomorrow, though. Tomorrow we're expecting a 70% chance of showers, maybe some turbulent storms, a high around 83 degrees, and winds out of the southwest 10 to 15 miles per hour. Don't know if we're going to have thunder and lightning. Don't know if we're going to have hail. Don't know if we're going to have something more serious than that. But so stay tuned as the weather forecast develops for tomorrow. Tomorrow's supposed to be a turbulent weather day. Some of the news that we're following from the WSJM newsroom right now. Benton Township has announced a new push to eliminate blight throughout the community. Last fall, the township updated its blight rules to make some violations civil infractions rather than criminal matters. That was to make it easier for building officials to enforce rules on things like trash and dilapidated structures. Now, speaking on Monday, Benton Township Supervisor Kathy Yates said since the start of enhanced enforcement, some residents have complained, but she wants everyone to know the crackdown is happening all across the township, focusing on residents, businesses, and schools. She says the township has a variety of issues.
Residents parking on their lawns, not keeping their trash like they should in containers and ready to be destroyed. Them telling on each other and then finding out that they have something and then they're upset with us. If you call and tell us about a violation, we're looking at you too. No one is exempt from this.
See, I like that. People are telling on each other and then they're the ones with the problems too. Anyway, under the new initiative, residents found to be in violation of the township ordinance will receive a warning. After that, the township attorney will be notified, and then tickets will be issued. Property owners will have 30 days to resolve any problems. Yates says if the building's issues can't be resolved or fixed, then the owner needs to start thinking about demolition, unfortunately. Benton Township Police Chief Greg Abrams says this isn't about punishing people, but about ensuring the community is a good place to live.
We're serious about keeping our township clean, that we're serious about junk vehicles, trash, overgrown grass. We're serious about these things. We want our neighbors to know that we hear them.
The blight enforcement initiative is being led by police, township building officials, and the township attorney. Yates told us the township has already hired 2 additional inspectors to respond to blighted properties. Township attorney Ashley Russett says a particular concern is abandoned buildings and schools because they pose a safety risk, especially to children. Anyone with questions can contact the Benton Township Hall. I've got a question. What about that Orchard Mall? Right? We're talking about blighted property, abandoned buildings.
I'm staying away from that.
I guess the seagulls or the gulls, as they are,
it's not abandoned.
Are there
it's
as well?
Bird sanctuary.
Oh my goodness, it's becoming that. All right, more on that later. Other news: 3 finalists have been selected for second-round interviews to be the next superintendent of Benton Harbor area schools. WSJM's Andrew Green reports.
The Board of Education says 5 were interviewed for the job on Saturday. Coming back on June 24th for a public meet and greet and second interviews will be Jeff Dace, Dr. Simone Griffin, and Dr. Dallas Lee. Dace is the deputy superintendent of the Rock Island Milan School District in Illinois. Griffin's the regional director of Learnwell Educational Services in Illinois. Lee is the assistant superintendent of educational services at Elementary School District 159 in Illinois. Benton Harbor Area Schools says the public meet and greet with the 3 will be on the 24th at 5 p.m. at the Benton Harbor High School Library. The interviews will immediately follow at 6 during a Board of Education meeting. As part of the interviews, each finalist will deliver a 10-minute presentation on a topic of their choice, followed by a 15-minute Q&A with the public. The board hopes to announce its selection on July 8th. Andrew Green, WSJM News.
And finally in the news this morning, at least this hour, the South Haven City Commission has approved a $45,000 contract with a firm to help develop a lifeguard program. Not to develop a lifeguard program, but to help them develop a plan for a lifeguard program. In a 5-1 vote last night, the commission approved an agreement to hire Michigan firm Double Hall Solutions to work with city staff and leaders to find out how to implement a lifeguard program. The resolution says the work is not to determine whether the city will or implement a program or not, but rather to assess how it can be implemented effectively and sustainably. During a phase 1 study, consultants will work with city staff and leaders to examine feasibility, find opportunities and constraints, and offer recommendations. The team will also review best practices and financial considerations to help develop a project roadmap. The city manager said the plan is expected to be ready for the council to review by September or October. Some members of the city council a little upset that they keep pushing the ball down the road. They were asking for how could we do a lifeguard program this year. What they got back is another consultant contract. It's the WSJM Morning Show 711. We've got more to talk about, including Lake Breeze at sunset. We're going to begin that conversation right now on the video live stream. We've got sports right here, and then we'll be back on the air with Jerry Price and Brian Joseph. It's coming up next.
Jalen Williams had a career playoff.
Sometimes these stories, they just keep coming back again and again and again.
They do.
Man.
A lot going on.
There's a lot going on. I don't want to get you in trouble.
Just stay away from downtown parking questions. And that'll keep us all
here, hang on, because I got to cross out question number 1 now.
That'll keep us all out of trouble.
I mean, it's under suspension.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah.
For now.
Hey, keep it suspended till after July 12th, you know.
and on July 12th, because we're going to start talking about the Krasl Art Fair as well, art on the Bluff. Mm-hmm. And I was poking around asking a few questions about, hey, does the parking affect you? And they're grandfathered in for the first year.
That's great.
But if it's suspended
beyond
that, then it won't matter as well. Either way, I think that benefits your event,
does.
right?
Yeah, it absolutely does. Absolutely does.
And parking really hasn't been an issue for the concert in the years past, has it?
No, it hasn't. It hasn't.
Okay.
It hasn't. No. So, we are excited, and we understand, that there needs to be change on both ends, right?
Right.
They're trying to find revenue, and businesses need to survive as well. So
absolutely.
It's that balance, right?
Yeah.
Balancing is always hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Balancing is always hard.
Yeah. Business leaders, you can't have you won't have a parking problem if you don't have any business down there.
Bingo. So, all parking is free.
Yeah. All right, enough on that.
I'm gonna get in trouble. I just feel it coming.
Gentlemen, it's so good to have you back in the studio, and I was excited when they said, "Hey, we've got to talk about Lake Breeze at sunset." So it's coming up Saturday, July 12th. Where are the preparations right now?
Well, preparations right now are, we're going into the home stretch of, ticket sales and, lining up, a few more vendors and getting out a lot of media on this event. And, no matter where I go, people are asking, hey, are there tickets left? Yes. But you better get them because they're going fast.
Fast.
They are going fast. So as we get closer to that date, people are asking, people are inquiring, and, being here today, I'm sure is going to create more excitement.
Absolutely.
And more questions and phone calls to Jerry and I, so we're just very excited that we could bring back for the 4th year, Lake Breeze at sunset. Just very exciting. It's a lot of work, but Jerry and I really enjoy what we do. Although Jerry's taking on another role, if you want to get something done, call JP.
Yeah. Ticket tiers. What tiers of the tickets are available for people?
There are 2 levels of tickets. So there is the reserved seating tickets, where you have your assigned seat there, And then there's your general admission ticket where you can bring your own lawn chair, sit out, find a great spot. So, just encourage people, do not wait till the last minute. Our reserve seats are almost sold out.
Okay.
So, don't wait till the last minute. That tells us that folks are ready for year 4.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a banner year for Lake Breeze.
I was fortunate enough to have reserve seatings, compliments of you gentlemen.
Absolutely.
So thank you very much. But I tell you, it was a great experience. I mean, you feel like you're practically up there on the stage. You can see everything around you, and you still have convenient access to the food behind you.
So right. Food,
beautiful
wine, beer. We you know what? It doesn't get any better, right? So I don't look. Come on out, folks. Come on out. And you have, art on the bluff at the same time.
That's right.
It's like
That's right. Okay, we're going to come back and talk about this again. It's the WSJM Morning Show, 716.
Hot and humid today. We're going to see high temperatures in the low to mid 80s, around 86 inland and the low 80s along the lake shore today. Slight chance of a shower possible this afternoon. Tonight, slight chance of a shower. Otherwise, we drop down to 68. And tomorrow, partly sunny and muggy. We'll see a high of 83 with showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
68 degrees. As Carrie Peugeot mentioned, it's going to be a hot and humid one today. Fortunately, we have a nice lake breeze coming in. A lake breeze at sunset, right? You see what I did there?
I saw what you did. That's pretty smooth. You know what? They ought to give you a raise.
Let's put that in writing.
Well, you have it recorded, so that's even better.
We'll put it in Dave's inbox there. No. Lake breeze at sunset is happening on Saturday, July 12th. We have the organizers here in studio this morning, Jerry Price and Brian Joseph, and I'm looking at the new mailer that you've got here. The artists, give us a rundown of who's going to be there. This is July 12th, Lake Breeze at sunset. It's at Shadowland Pavilion. Who are the artists we're going to see there?
You're going to have Tim Cunningham, saxophonist Tim Cunningham, who is a former Michigan State defensive back at Michigan State, and decided to go with the saxophone versus signing a contract with the Dallas Cowboys.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for him, because nobody likes the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I second that emotion.
Okay, thank you.
I second that emotion.
So Tim has been playing for quite a few years, and former Atlantic recording artist with Atlantic Records in New York. And we were able to secure a contract with Coors Brewing Company and Pleasure Island Jazz Club in Orlando at Disney. So
you had to get a contract through those two entities to get Tim here?
Well, that was years ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
he had that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So very.
You
very
used to work with Tim Cunningham.
I used to be
right?
Tim's manager.
Full disclosure.
Full disclosure. I was Tim's manager.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So just a very, very talented musician with a lot of energy. And I've sort of nicknamed Tim. He doesn't know this yet, but I've nicknamed him the Beast.
The Beast. And why is that?
Just the way he plays the horn and the energy and the lungs on this guy. Holy smokes. I mean, I don't know of anybody that plays the sax the way Tim plays the sax.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love that.
He just goes over and beyond. And when you think he's done, the next song is better than that. And he just keeps building and building and building.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and he knows, he knows the audience.
Yeah.
He knows the markets around the country, and he walks out on stage and observes the crowd and whatnot. And, he gives you everything he has. He doesn't leave anything out on the stage.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that.
And he's a great guy too.
So Tim Cunningham, saxophonist, former MSU football player, right? Mm-hmm. Michigan State University football player, choosing saxophone and love of music over his NFL career.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
And his roommate for 4 years was Carl Banks, who played for the New York Giants.
You're kidding.
No.
Man.
In fact, I was talking to Tim last week, and he and Carl had just got off the phone. So he and Carl are still very, very tight.
That's awesome.
Day.
That's
and
awesome.
We're talking like late 70s, early 80s. These
Good
guys
friends.
have been friends that long.
Who else do we have playing there?
We've got the beautiful, lovely, talented Cindy Bradley.
Okay.
Yeah. And she's had 8 #1 Billboard singles.
Woof.
And just a talented lady. Lives in upstate New York.
Okay.
She is a music teacher.
Okay.
And has her bachelor's and her master's. Married, has 5 dogs. And, she's
5 dogs.
5.
Yeah, she got 5 dogs.
She's bringing them on tour with her.
Well, they wanted to bring one.
What
but,
kind of dogs, I wonder?
Well, I don't know what.
Let's get her in the studio and ask.
Yeah, let's ask.
Okay.
Let's find out.
Yeah. But I do know the one she wanted to bring was really, really small.
Oh.
And you probably put them in, put them in your shirt pocket or in your big tote bag.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the hotel says, Brian, we'd love to host her and her dogs, but no pets.
Oh, really?
So no pets.
Oh.
So
Sorry to hear that.
but she's coming with her husband,
Okay.
and she is very excited to come. And she was here in 2018.
2018.
Yeah,
Okay.
for one of the last smooth jazz concerts that you guys put on.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she did a phenomenal job.
She plays brass. She plays the trumpet.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Contemporary jazz,
Mm-hmm.
bebop, funk, with dynamic trumpet performance.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. How did you find? So Tim, you obviously had a pre-existing relationship with Tim. You were his manager from time to time.
Mhm.
So we'd love to get some stories on that. Tell us the
Okay.
nitty gritty.
Okay.
And then Cindy Bradley, how did you get that talent?
Well,
Secured.
I work with an agency that I've used for Gerald Albright and various people for the senior PGA.
Okay.
And so the agent for them also they're the agent for Cindy.
Okay.
For the most part. And for some reason, I can't remember the guy's name, and I've been working with him for
Fred.
Fred Hansen.
Hansen.
Fred Hansen at Elite there in New York, but recently moved to Tennessee.
Okay.
Great guy, and have worked with Fred for probably over 12, 14 years. So he books Cindy as well. So, it's just a matter of just picking up the phone and, hey, is Cindy available? Yes, she's available. How much is she? This is the cost,
Okay.
and what comes with her. All right, let's do it. Send me a contract.
Does she have a full backing band behind her?
Yes, she will.
Okay.
She will. She
Okay.
will. Yeah.
That's awesome. All right.
Full band, and it's going to be very exciting. And this is a very unusual year for
Why is
Jerry
that?
and I.
Oh, how come? Why is that?
Well, it's going to be a surprise.
Okay. You can't just throw that out there and
Why
leave
not?
it there.
Why not?
It's like a pet bunny making all kinds of noise over there in
I
the
don't
corner.
even know. So it's really going to be a surprise.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
We
Cindy-
just want people to come, and I can guarantee you it's going to be a surprise.
Okay. All right.
So
That-
I'm just putting that out there. Folks, you do not want to miss this concert July 12th.
Okay. So
That's all I'm saying.
Saturday, July 12th, it's Lake Breeze at sunset. Cindy Bradley, Tim Cunningham, they're going to be headlining the concert. And then also it's down at Shadowland Pavilion in St. Joseph. It's the same weekend as Art on the Bluff. And so you're going to want to get your tickets quick. How can people get more information and get the tickets?
A great way to do that is to go to our website, which is lakebreezeatsunset.com. There is the full bio of the artist. There's our link to our tickets. There's pictures from past events. That is the home base for everything Lake Breeze. So
I love it.
encourage people to visit that website and get your tickets now, people. I don't know what the surprise is, but apparently there's a surprise.
We're going to explore that on the video live stream here in just a moment. We're going to try to find out what that is. Again, we're talking with Jerry Price and Brian Joseph. We're talking about Lake Breeze at Sunset. It's happening July 12th at Shadowland Pavilion. More information, lakebreezemusicfestival.com. We're going to keep Jerry Price and Brian Joseph here. We're going to keep talking about the concert, but we're also going to find out what else is going on, including Jerry Price's latest venture here in the community. So we'll talk about that. It's all coming up right here on the WSJM Morning Show. Bloomberg Market Minute coming up. The Federal Reserve is meeting this week.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're not going to mess with interest rates.
No.
They probably should.
I wish they would.
Yeah, I think everybody would.
Probably, yeah.
Everybody's pocketbook wishes it.
Who's that guy named? What? Jerome Powell?
Yeah. We'll invite him to the concert. Maybe he'll get some sense then. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's all coming up right here on the WSJM Morning Show.
Would you call free checking?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Brian let something slip. That's the sign of a good promoter.
Yeah, just get that little tease, right? And I'm even excited. I don't even know what's going on. So that tells you that's a great promoter. That's not just good. That's great.
That will be good. I know in the past we've talked about a number of different things.
Yeah.
You floated different ideas. What if we do this? What if we do that? Is that one of those things? Maybe.
My lips are sealed.
Oh,
I am sworn. I am sworn to secrecy.
Okay.
And so you just have to need to know this. If I let this out,
okay,
I may never be seen again.
Oh, one of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're going to
You do
reveal.
want to see me, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So
absolutely.
Zip.
Preferably vertical.
Vertical, right? You want to be vertical. We want to be seen, not viewed right now. So there's a whole different aspect.
But will you reveal the surprise at the concert on July 12th?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's where it's going to be revealed.
Yeah. It will be revealed.
Okay. You going to be ready for that?
I'm ready. Right? What's that old saying? If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So
Jerry was born ready. Okay.
Trying to stay ready.
Jerry was born ready.
I love that.
Yeah,
all right. Let's check in on the video live stream here because I see some activity. I think even Jerry's getting on there.
Yeah. I'm talking with folks. And,
all right. JP says good morning. Bill says good morning. Bernice says welcome. JP and Brian. Good morning. Let's see. Bernice says she's looking forward to the Lake Breeze Music Festival.
Yeah, and it's her birthday that same day. So
is it really?
Yeah, that's what she says. It's her birthday. So so that's a great combo.
That is a great combo.
That.
Have a huge birthday party down there. You should make that happen now, Bernice. Let's see. A YMCA. She remembers from the YMCA.
Yeah, Bill. Bill was one of our lifeguards at the Y back in the day. I was so young then. Wow, that was many moons ago.
I'm just envisioning Baywatch with you running through the.
You don't want to envision that. I want you to be happy the rest of the day. That's not a happy vision. That's not a happy vision.
But it's fun.
You don't want me in the Speedo.
Now you went there.
That's an image I can't erase from my own mind. We don't have to work on that.
You know what? With AI, we can probably create that video.
That's actually going to be the surprise. Me on stage at sunset in a Speedo.
Oh my goodness.
I told you I was going to get in trouble. Didn't I? See, this is what happens every time.
Tell us a little bit more. So for those who don't know, Jerry, tell us what you've been up to these last, let's say, when did you move over to the east side?
I moved over to the east side. It's been exactly 2 years.
Okay, so tell us what you've been doing for the last 24 months.
Yeah, so I still work for Corewell Health.
Yep.
So I oversee our belonging strategy in our Metro Detroit region. So we have 8 hospitals in Metro Detroit. So I oversee our belonging strategy there.
Okay.
My office there is in Southfield.
Oh.
But I live in Bath, Michigan.
Okay.
So, which is right outside of East Lansing. I'm literally like 8 minutes from Spartan Stadium.
Oh, wow.
It's a small farming town. Absolutely love it.
Nice.
Best neighbors in the whole world. And then recently, like I have a lot of free time.
Right.
Recently, I took on a consulting part-time position with the Renaissance Athletic Club. So I'm their new director of business development, which is something that's close to my heart. Well-being, health has taken a huge space in my life the last 3 to 4 years, and just wanted to have that full circle moment. I helped in talking through when the rack was about to open and kind of helping them, and now I get a chance to really come back and serve the community in that way as well, and make sure that everyone has access to that well-being piece, right?
Yeah.
So I'm excited about this next venture as well.
You say that's really taken up a big part of your life for the last 3 or 4 years. Why is that?
Yeah, I think each one of us, as people, we have those moments where we have our own kind of, and this is truly a play on words, those Renaissance moments.
Yeah.
Right. So in the last 2 years, I've lost about 45 pounds.
Okay.
Right. Because as we start to live life, we start to realize that, hey, I can't do what I used to do. I can't burn 5,000 calories a day. I can't do those things.
Yeah.
And we really want to improve not only the quality of our physical life, but also the quality of our mental life. Right.
I love that.
So that is one of the reasons I decided to take this position. It's really helping people be their most optimal version, physically and mentally, well-being as a whole. So I'm truly excited to spread the rack as really the premier place to do that.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And congratulations on the 45 pounds. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
We'll have to talk.
Those last 5, boy, I'm trying to hit that 50 mark. Those last 5 is hard, but I'm going to get there.
We'll be back in just a moment. We're continuing our conversation with Jerry Price and Brian Joseph and talking about Lake Breeze at sunset. It's coming up in a minute.
Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
If you're missing out on the video live stream, you are missing a lot, right?
It's so funny. I got to read this. If JP is running, he is coming to save you. Something is chasing him. That's in the video live stream. So people, if you are not on this video live stream, you need to join in on this fun on the video live stream.
It is good. I got to tell you, if you're missing this in the video live stream, you're missing a lot. We're talking with Jerry Price and Brian Joseph. We're talking about the Lake Breeze Music Festival, Lake Breeze at sunset. It's coming up on Saturday, July 12th. But we're also talking about a lot of other things. So we'll continue that conversation on the video live stream and on the radio here in just a moment. We've got to get to some news, though. Although I will tell you, if you missed any part of the video live stream, you can go back and watch it on our app. We've got the WSJM Smart app. We've got YouTube. We've got Facebook. And right there, exclusively, we'll talk about our AI generation of Jerry doing the Baywatch run as a lifeguard in a Speedo.
Believe me.
That's on the video live stream.
You want to miss that. You know.
It's 7:32. It's the WSJM Morning Show.
ABC News on Chuck Severson. President Trump is back in Washington, having left the G7 summit in Canada early due to the Israel-Iran fighting. Aboard Air Force One, the president said he wasn't aiming for a ceasefire, but for a permanent end or for Iran giving up. He urged people to evacuate Tehran. Also on the plane, Mr. Trump was asked if he plans to call Minnesota Governor Tim Walz about the deadly shootings of state lawmakers.
I'm not calling. Why would I call him? I could call him and say, hi, how you doing? The guy doesn't have a clue. He's a mess. So, I could be nice and call him, but why waste time?
One of the worst Russian air attacks in Ukraine's capital of the war happened overnight. Drones and missiles killing at least 14, say Ukrainian officials. One of the 2 doctors accused in the overdose death of Friends TV star Matthew Perry is expected to plead guilty with a maximum sentence of 40 years in prison. This is ABC News.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
69 degrees and mostly warm out there. We have some clouds out there. 68 in St. Joseph, South Haven 69 degrees, Dowagiac 68, New Buffalo at 69 degrees, and at the South Bend International Airport, mostly cloudy skies and 69 degrees. The forecast for today does call for those clouds to burn off and give us partly sunny skies, only a 20% chance of showers. Again, that humidity is going to be around a high around 86 degrees inland, probably closer to 80 or maybe the lower 80s by the lakeshore. Tonight's forecast, partly cloudy, a 40% chance of showers and storms, a 68 for a low overnight. And then Wednesday, that's going to be our weather activity day of the week. Partly cloudy and a 70% chance of showers and storms. The severity of those is in question right now, so we're going to keep an eye on weather for tomorrow, your Wednesday. Again, a 70% chance of some showers, maybe some severe thunderstorms moving through. High around 83 degrees. Thursday's forecast, partly sunny, chance of showers, and a high around 80. Friday, 85 for the high. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we're going to get temperatures in the 90s.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So sweltering. Remember that time we had the day of spring?
Yes.
The one day.
That one day.
It was a beautiful day, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Gorgeous day. One day.
So Saturday, partly cloudy, a high around 90. Sunday, partly sunny, a high around 93. And Monday, partly sunny with a high around 94 degrees. So it's going to be warm. It's going to be humid.
Yeah.
Tigers had the day off yesterday. Today they take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Any Detroit Tigers fans in the house? Detroit Tigers? Oh, man, you had to pause. You had to think about it. That's fine.
I'm okay with the Tigers. I'm more of a Cubs guy.
All right.
But, now I'm on the east side of the state. So, yes, I'm a Detroit Tiger.
Oh, man. They are the winningest team in Major League Baseball. They had the day off yesterday. Today they take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. First pitch is at Comerica Park at 6:40 p.m. You'll hear the game right here on your official Detroit Tigers baseball station.
Yes, I am
Jerry.
a huge Tigers fan. Huge.
WSJM. The Cubs will host the Milwaukee Brewers. The Cubs are no slouch. They're doing good,
They're
too.
doing pretty good.
They're doing
good.
well.
They're working on it.
Tigers beat them. The first pitch is at 8:05 tonight against the Milwaukee Brewers. And then the White Sox are hosting the St. Louis Cardinals. Their first pitch is at 7:40. I think everyone loves the White Sox just because you have to.
You have to.
Yeah.
You do. Yeah. Okay. All right. Some of the news that we have coming up at 8 o'clock this morning, the city of Benton Harbor is entering its 2025-26 fiscal year with a $1.2 million budget deficit. That's after commissioners approved a new spending plan. We'll tell you a lot about that and who's to blame. According to the city manager, they're still blaming the emergency managers. I know. And one of the council members said, no, that happened a decade ago. We got to move forward. So we'll talk about that story. That's coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. Also, the ribbon's been cut on the new Benton Harbor Fitness Court. It's right downtown. And what else do we have here? Oh, Michigan Works. Barry and Cass Van Buren secured a $2.26 million grant for workforce training. So we'll talk about those stories and more. That's all coming up at 8 o'clock right here on the WSJM Morning Show. We've got Jerry Price and Brian Joseph. We're talking about Lake Breeze at sunset. Tim Cunningham and Cindy Bradley will be here performing on that Saturday, July 12th. And we'll tell you more about that performance and how to get tickets. That's coming up in just a moment right here on the WSJM Morning Show.
The Michigan News Network.
Okay, back on the video live stream.
Okay.
You gentlemen have to come in more often. This is fun.
Yeah, I'll tell you, we ought to have our own show. Right?
We should.
We need to.
Can I be included in that?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Us three.
Okay.
Right here.
All right. It's good, right?
Yeah, this is the feel good hit of the season.
You talk about Ken and friends.
Yes.
Ken, JP, and Brian.
There you go.
Friends.
And friends. Yes.
And friends. Look,
I would make room for that.
We need to talk to Mr. Olson about that.
Well, you can talk to Gail. Yeah, you can talk to Gail, or you can talk to Dave. Dave would be good.
So, Dave, if you're listening,
yeah.
Lorraine, know it's coming.
Lorraine, we
talk
need
to
your
Lorraine.
help.
Yep.
It's coming.
Lorraine gets it done.
Yes, she does.
She's an action person.
Yes,
action person. Okay, and so Jerry, you've told us kind of what you've been up to for the last 24 months. Corwell, and now part-time consulting with the RAC. Brian, tell us a little bit more about Pizza Hut locally. What's going on?
Well, we have a new Pizza Hut in Barron Springs. It's
That's
not
right.
open yet.
Okay.
But we built a new Pizza Hut in front of the old one.
Okay.
And so, we're trying to get, some permits and, some electrical things worked out. But, the store in Barron Springs is absolutely beautiful. It's 1,400 square feet with a, drive-up window. It's really, really nice.
Yeah.
And so that we're going to do a special promotion coming up for that store when it does open, and there's more details to come.
Okay.
So we're working out the details with Lorraine.
Can you talk about the drive-up window concept? Has the drive-up window has not always been part of Pizza Hut, has it?
Well, in some markets it has.
Okay.
Because if you go to Grand Haven, and this concept came up probably about 7-8 years ago.
Okay.
And that's where corporate pizza had said, hey, we need to have a pickup window, so to speak.
Yeah.
So we've actually, built stores that are in a strip mall, but it's an end cap.
Okay.
And it's an end cap where people can drive up, so that's in Muskegon, obviously in Barron Springs, and we have it in Holland as well. So it's something that's growing.
And that'll be part of the St. Joseph one as well. Is that right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But with the St. Joe unit, we'll have another 1,400 square foot unit next to that. Not sure who's going to be in there, but we've had some calls because there's been I think Moody on the Market article talking about Pizza Hut, building the new Pizza Hut with an additional unit next door. So the footprint is going to be much smaller. For St. Joe. But I've received calls, people saying like, "Wow, it looks weird. There's no Pizza Hut. It's torn down with all the fencing around it."
Saw that,
and what's really sort of interesting is that the ladies over at Taco Bell and over at Burger King,
you're going to get in trouble.
Yep, there's trouble happening right now.
Go ahead.
When I drive through there to get lunch now, because we can't walk across the parking lot to get lunch, right?
Yes.
They say, "When are you guys going to open the Pizza Hut?" I was like, "Well, it may be October." October? Where can we get pizza? Well, just drive out to Stevensville or drive over to M139 and talk to China. I said, China will take care of you. So I have to admit, even the folks in the office, we're bummed because we can't call over and order our food and go over and get it. So we're actually,
you're anxious to get this done.
Yeah, we are really pushing to get this done.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
We're pretty busy these days.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
The so the one in Berrien Springs will be open soon. You're finalizing.
Yeah, finalizing. Permits and finishing up all the inside. And, all the equipment's coming in and whatnot. So I mean, it's a pretty lengthy process. But we hope to have the St. Joe Pizza Hut, early fall open.
Yeah, we're talking with Brian Joseph, who by day spends his days at Pizza Hut, making sure everybody knows what's happening and everything that's going and building up that business here in Michigan. And then by
night, I'm
by night. By night. No, in your spare time, you're doing Lake Breeze at sunset is what I was getting to.
Correct. Yes. Not Bernice.
What do you do in your spare time?
Wow, I really don't. Well, okay.
You take walks.
Well, yeah. I take walks.
Yeah.
I hike in Grand Mere State Park.
Did you see they now discovered a new invasive species of tick over there?
Yeah, I've heard that.
This is not good.
No, I haven't heard that.
No. Stay out of the long brush.
Oh yeah. You don't have to worry about that with me.
Yeah.
The Asian longhorn tick. So I'm scarred. I'm psychologically scarred by ticks because my parents, the chore they gave me growing up was to de-tick the dog. And the dogs were always getting ticks.
Wow.
And I had no idea that a tick, you know how small and flat they are, and you can't kill them with anything.
Yeah.
They swell up, the females swell up with blood like the size of a blueberry, like a healthy blueberry.
Yeah.
And that was my job to get rid of those ticks. That was not fun.
No.
And so now
crappy job.
I know. I graduated to radio. Now, Asian longhorn tick is an invasive species from Asia. They can reproduce asexually, so they don't need a partner, and they lay 1,000 to 2,000 eggs at a time. 1,000 to 2,000 eggs at a time.
That's not good.
They're a big threat for livestock.
Absolutely.
They're a big threat for any animal they get on because they basically infest
the animal
and get them either sick or kill them because they take so much blood.
Wow. Yeah,
Can you believe this?
I had not heard that. But
sorry. Now, I should have given a disclaimer.
So if anybody is eating breakfast, we truly apologize.
Oh my goodness!
Especially if you eat the blueberry muffin, we truly apologize.
Jerry. 7:43 WSJM Morning Show continues. Back in just a moment with our Moody on the Market update.
Partly sunny, hot, and humid today. We're going to see high temperatures in the low to mid 80s, around 86 inland and the low 80s along the lake shore today. Slight chance of a shower possible this afternoon. Tonight, slight chance of a shower. Otherwise, we drop down to 68. And tomorrow, partly sunny and muggy. We'll see a high of 83 with showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
Again, our apologies if you've been listening on the video live stream and eating breakfast at the same time.
Yeah, we're sorry.
We won't even start. 7:44. If you missed out, you can go back and watch the video. We have it there. Video archive at YouTube and Facebook and on our WSJM app. It's the video live stream for the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me is Brian Joseph and Jerry Price. And we're talking about Lake Breeze at Sunset. Let's make this part of our Moody on the Market update. It's brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today. They are your local auto owners insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. And during the Moody on the Market update, Brian, you know this very well. Jerry, you know this as well. We talk about three different things during the Moody on the Market update. They are business updates, interesting people you should know, and life in Southwest Michigan and why we love it here.
Yes.
And I think we're getting all three from you gentlemen this morning.
We're
So
getting
thank
them all.
you.
The trifecta. Yes.
We're trying.
So thank you very much. We appreciate it. You both work for institutions that are part of Southwest Michigan's economic lifeblood, talking about Corewell Health, talking about Pizza Hut. And you're also bringing life that we love in Southwest Michigan with Lake Breeze at Sunset. Let's give people an overview again of what Lake Breeze at Sunset is. It's coming up on July 12th.
Yeah, Lake Breeze at Sunset. It is the premier concert in our community, in our region. It's all about people gathering, coming together, listening to wonderful music in a setting that is second to none.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Right? When you're sitting on the banks and you can look out and see Lake Michigan, you see the boats, you feel the breeze, right? That's why it's called Lake Breeze, right?
Yeah.
We're smart people, right? You know,
you put it together. Yeah.
Great local food vendors will be there. Great beer and wine offerings as well. But it's just that time for our community to come together. Come together as a community, but then also welcome our visitors. So at some point, they become a permanent part of this community.
Yes.
Because there's no better place than where we live.
Yeah. And so it's happening Saturday, July 12th. Who's performing at Lake Breeze?
Tim Cunningham, saxophonist Tim Cunningham, and trumpet player Cindy Bradley. I just want to add something.
Yes.
I think, Jerry and I always, want to make sure we give credit where it's due.
Yes.
And credit is due here at Midwest Family because it was the idea of Midwest Family, Gail Olson and the crew to put on a great music event from 2003 to 2019. So, hey, thanks to you, Gail and Midwest Family for putting on 16 years of great music. And so we're just trying to, continue what Gail has started. And people like Tony DeLappa, who actually did the first concert at Shadowland Pavilion in the year 2000 when it opened.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So
I have the poster in my office still from the first concert.
25 years later, concerts still going strong each year. And this is the fourth year that Lake Breeze.
Yes. We've made it.
So we want to give a quick shout out to some of our sponsors.
Please.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Right. Because this wouldn't be possible without our sponsorships. All right. Sturgis Bank, who is our platinum sponsor, have been with us from the inception of the idea. So truly thank, Sturgis Bank. We also have sponsors. North Pier is on board this year. Good Boy Vodka is on board this year. We have many others who are still part of our family that we're still growing in terms of our sponsorship. So it's been a absolutely amazing journey. We got the Boulevard Inn and Bistro is part of us. Popeyes is a sponsor this year as well. So we're just continuing to grow our Lake Breeze family.
That's
and
fantastic.
we have a full list of sponsors on our website. This is the intro at lakebreezeatsunset.com. But it's really been a labor of music and a labor of love.
And that's coming up on Saturday, July 12th, Lake Breeze at Sunset. Tim Cunningham, saxophonist, and trumpet player Cindy Bradley will be performing there. They're both well-known recording artists. In fact, Cindy Bradley with 8 #1 Billboard singles.
Yes. Huge.
That is amazing.
Huge. Yeah.
And then Tim Cunningham has opened for legends including Dave Koz, Earth, Wind, and Fire, others as well. And we're fortunate enough to have them right here in Southwest Michigan. That's coming up on Saturday, July 12th. You can get your tickets now. Just go to, you want me to send them to the website?
Absolutely.
LakeBreezeAtSunset.com. That's LakeBreezeAtSunset.com. You've got 2 tiers of tickets. You've got reserve and general admission.
In general admission, where you get to bring your own comfortable lawn chair. And I will say our general admission, our reserve, we have a few seats left. So, don't wait.
Yeah.
Come. All right. We are ready to host you and have a great evening.
Yeah. And think about just making it a weekend, because you've got the art fair on the Bluff happening that same weekend. A lot of the people are going to have that same thought. So maybe we get the tickets now so we don't get disappointed when they're sold out.
Absolutely. Get them now. Don't wait.
Yeah.
All right. Jerry Price and Brian Joseph talking about Lake Breeze at Sunset. Again, lakebreezeatsunset.com is the website, and the performance is coming up on Saturday, July 12th. That's our Moody on the Market update. It's brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owner's insurance agency, with St. Joseph and Niles locations. We'll be back in just a moment to conclude this interview. It's the WSJM Morning Show.
Insurance Management Service.
All right, go ahead. Oh, we're doing good? All right.
I love it.
All right. Now, because we're doing so well, now you have to share a story. What's the thing that went the most wrong at one of your previous events?
I think that's easy.
Did anyone drop an instrument in the channel there?
No.
Okay.
No. We went over time.
Oh.
Well,
can we tell that story?
The noise ordinance.
There's a noise ordinance in the city of St. Joe.
Okay.
And, it's 11 o'clock p.m.
Okay.
Is the cutoff date.
11 o'clock p.m.
Is the cutoff time.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we had some delays during the day.
Oh.
And we didn't actually get the proper time for sound checks, etc. So for the last artist, Marquel Jordan, to come on, he went on and he was performing, and he looked up and there was a Berrien County sheriff standing next to him, basically saying, you got to cut it.
You're kidding.
No. And Marquel, he was just like stunned, and I had told him before the Berrien County sheriff walked up on stage, it's like, go ahead and go. Keep it going. And he goes back to playing, and the sheriff literally walked up next to him and sitting next to him is like, I'm sorry, but we got to get these people out of here. They have to be out of the park by 11 o'clock. And it was like 15 minutes till.
Oh.
Yeah. So we cut it real short.
You thought you could go up to 11 o'clock and then stop.
And then stop. No. They have to be, the people have to be out of the park because the gates close at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah. So that
makes sense.
Yeah. So
that was fun.
yeah.
Jerry says.
Yeah,
that was fun.
But other than that, folks, everything really goes smoothly.
It goes pretty smooth. I'm like, if that's the worst thing that happens, that we party too long, I will take too long.
So my personality is I like things to start on time.
Yes.
I don't know why I'm in radio, but because things start on time on radio. Maybe that's it. So I'm taking the moral of this story as you're going to start on time.
Yeah, we're starting on time.
We always start on time. We always start on time.
Things just go a little long.
Things just, we just have a few bumps in the road after we get started. And that was only the first time that happened.
Oh, okay.
The first and the last time it's going to happen.
Okay, good.
So it's
never
been
had
corrected.
any other hiccups. We've never had any other
Really?
hiccups.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
How are the performers to work with?
Oh, wonderful.
Do they have special riders and you got to do all special treatment and that kind of thing?
Our performers have been great.
Yeah. Okay, good.
They have been. Now, we've worked with performers in the past, not on this concert, but others where, the riders can be pretty interesting. And if certain things aren't in place, you got to go out and get those certain things.
What was something that you looked at this and go,
story? I can tell this story.
Because they're never coming back.
Yeah, I can use names too, right? Can I use names? Okay, so this is Morris Day. Morris Day and the time.
And the time,
Morris Day and the time, right? We had everything on his rider, right? So he's in the dressing room and, everybody's excited. The opening act is gone and, it was like Morris Day and the time up next. 20 minutes later, Morris Day and the time up next.
Oh no.
15 minutes later. So I'm back there with him and he's like, well, I need, we have to do a shot of this certain type of liquor. And I'm like, it wasn't on the rider.
Yeah.
Oh no, really?
It wasn't on the rider, but he would not go on stage until he poured his whole band a shot of this. So we literally had to send someone out to a local beverage establishment.
Oh my goodness!
To get this.
What was the kind of alcohol? Do you remember?
It was okay. It was something cheap. I don't want to say the name, but it was cheap. JP said this was cheap. Right. It wasn't a high end. You think Lord's Day is going to be high end, but it was reasonable. They literally did one shot, and he looked at me and he looked at the band and he said, "Let's go out and let's tie this sucker up." He didn't say sucker, but he said, "Let's tie this sucker up." And they went out and did that. But I tell you, that was about a 40-minute delay. So we could literally go to a local beverage establishment. I'm like, time was not of the essence for Morris Day in the time.
So that's his ritual that he does before he goes on stage.
Show, right?
I get it.
But we didn't know it.
We didn't know that, but
now
it's
you do.
always cool to see it.
Yeah.
But that was
Thank you for sharing that. That was really good. All right, we got to get back. It's the WSJM Morning Show.
Moody Studios, this is WSJM FM Benton Harbor, St. Joseph, a product of Midwest Family Marketing and Media. Proudly serving our community. The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
7:55, it's the WSJM Morning Show. And again, if you're missing the video live stream, JP, what do you think?
Hey, they are missing out on some great stuff. So if you aren't on the live stream now, make sure you re-watch it. You will hear some very interesting things on the live stream.
We talked a little bit about the performers, what it's like to work with the performers in relation to Lake Breeze at Sunset, and it's been a class 1 experience. Everything's been great.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so you've got Cindy Bradley and Tim Cunningham. Just give us an overview again of their performance styles, who they are, what they do, and they're coming up on July 12th.
You got Tim Cunningham, saxophonist, original Michigander, born and raised in Lansing.
Yeah.
Actually, went to the same high school as Magic Johnson.
Okay.
And just a very talented performer, easygoing guy, and just a lot of fun. And then you've got trumpeter Cindy Bradley. She's had 8 #1 singles on the Billboard charts. You can hear her music on Watercolors, and just a very talented, lovely lady, and a high school music teacher in upstate New York with 5 dogs and a husband.
Man, she keeps busy.
Yeah. So they're all excited about coming back to our community.
Yeah. And they're coming back on July 12th. It's a Saturday, Lake Breeze at Sunset. They've got tickets available now. You go to the website and you can buy the tickets. There are 2 tiers. The reserve tickets. How much are the reserve tickets? How much are the general admission?
Reserve tickets are $45 and general admission tickets are $35.
And for that, you get to enjoy the jazz. You get to enjoy the sunset, the beautiful view of Lake Michigan and the boats behind, and above all the music and the community and the food.
Yes. Yeah.
And you got beer and wine there as well.
Yep, we do. We have sponsors. Good Boy Vodka will be there for the first time.
Okay.
And North Pier Brewing.
Oh, very good.
Will also be there for the first time. So we're excited.
Local contributions. All right. So again, if you want more information on that, go to Lake Breeze at Sunset. And again, that's coming up on the same weekend as Art Fair on the Bluff. So you're going to want to get your tickets sooner rather than later. And reserve tickets almost sold out.
Yes, almost sold out. There's a few left, so get your tickets. Get your tickets now.
Okay, all right.
We will have a surprise for you that night too.
Brian has teased us.
Teasing this surprise.
He says there's a surprise that's going to be announced at the Lake Breeze Music Festival, but he won't give us anything else other than that.
My lips are sealed.
But
come and enjoy, and you will be pleasantly surprised.
Okay,
I can assure you.
And it's something the community will enjoy.
Oh, it's
okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And if Brian says it, it must be true.
Yeah. So we'll look forward to that, and that
guaranteed great time.
You have to come back after that for to be on the radio show to talk about what that surprise was. Okay,
we will.
Definitely.
And guess what?
Huh.
We're going to go on the road with you and JP and I. We're going to take this show on the road.
I like it.
On the road. Let's go.
I like it.
Again.
All right. Brian Joseph and Jerry Price, 2 treasures here for our Southwest Michigan community. We appreciate you. Thank you for coming in.
Right,
yes, one more.
Thank you, Lorraine.
Oh, and
I
thank
know
you,
you're
Lorraine.
out there, Lorraine, but Lorraine has been an advocate, a huge supporter of myself and JP and Pizza Hut. So thank you for all you do, Lorraine.
Definitely.
We love you, baby.
We love Lorraine as well.
Yes.
July 12th, Shadowland Pavilion, Lake Breeze Music Festival. Go to the website, lakebreezemusicfestival.com, and get ready for an unforgettable experience at Lake Breeze at sunset. Okay, weather-wise, we've got a lot of sunshine out there right now, and more sun is expected later today. It's going to drive up the temperatures by the lakeshore, probably highs in the 80s. Around the other parts of southwest Michigan, 86 degrees. Humid. It's going to be a humid day. And just light winds out of the southwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight's forecast, partly cloudy, a 40% chance of showers. It's 8 o'clock.
From ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. President Trump's back in Washington.